Hello and welcome to Brothers on the Ball. My name's Kieran,
My name's Charlie.
and what we'll be doing today is we'll be going through Liverpool's window and what we think's going to happen for the season. It's been quite an interesting window this season, hasn't it, Charlie?
Yeah, I would say so. I think we've made a lot of statement signings, a lot of players that improve the level of the club, not the other way around where we used to sign players that we improve and elevate their level. I think players have come in this season that have elevated us, which is nice for a change. I think we're quite
Mm.
scary this season. I think teams are worried about playing us. So I'm excited to see where it goes, to be honest.
Well, yeah, there's still fans very nervous, which we can understand, obviously, due to the lack of depth we've got this season. Obviously, another injury for Joe Gomez um, at the start of the season. So we need more depth in a lot of positions there. But there's still signings that could happen. There could be a few surprise signings, but yeah, we'll never know. But what we're going to go into first is the current squad.
Yeah.
Um, we've got a really strong squad. Um, uh, we've kept a really strong squad. Like Mohamed Salah last season, his stats were unbelievable. We got 34 goals last season in 52 games. That's just ridiculous numbers, isn't it?
That is it's truly outrageous. And like I think the thing with Mo Salah is he always amazes you. No matter how good he's been, he's always getting better. And I think that was his best season ever, not just in a Liverpool shirt, like ever. Like unbelievable. And it wasn't just the goals as well. I'm sure you've got the number there for assists. Like he was setting up every goal. He was a part of every single
23 assists last season for Mo Salah.
ridiculous. Like he was the heartbeat of the team last season, the main attacking threat. You know, especially when we had players like Darwin Núñez underperforming. Luis Diaz had spells where he was underperforming. Gakpo couldn't get long runs in the team. Like it was
Well,
difficult. And Salah
yeah.
carried that.
Along with that, you've also kept the best defender in the world, Virgil van Dijk. What a player he's going to be this season for us.
He's just such a leader, and like I think he's so important to integrating these new players into the club.
Yeah,
Not just on the pitch, also outside. I feel like on the pitch, he is sort of Arnold Slot on the pitch. He sort of leads the tactics. Like he's getting everyone in position defensively. He's telling people where to go and attack. You saw that countless times against Crystal Palace, telling Kerkes to move position. You know, because
he, he, he's just so smart.
he is.
He,
He's incredibly intelligent. I think there's a part of his game that goes underappreciated because of how amazing he is defensively.
yeah, and along with that, we've also kept Dominic Szoboszlai happy, even though we've signed these new players. Um, he's looking to fight for his spot this season. He's definitely good enough to do it. So we'll just have to, because he can play in different positions. He can play in the attacking midfield role. He can play out wide. He can play deeper. So we'll just have to see what comes up for Szoboszlai this season. So what do you think about that?
I think he's just a great player, and I feel like he's gone from strength to strength. Like the first season was a bit slow from him. You know, we didn't really see what the player we were buying was. I think last season we saw a lot more of that. You know, think back to his goal against Leicester. If you went and watched highlight reels from when we first signed him, was like everyone thought that would be happening on like a weekly occurrence. Do you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think we got a little bit. I feel like this season, in sort of an eight role, if he holds down that spot, I think him and Verts especially together quite exciting because he'll do the work, he'll get forward, then he also drops back and he's like one of the best back in defence as well. I think that's
yeah.
so integral, especially in the Premier League, which is such a physical, fast-paced league, to be able to just get up and down.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the energy he has, and just the personality he brings onto the pitch as well. I mean, as soon as he came in, he became best friends with Mo Salah, um, and that's what you need. You need a quick what's the word? Friendships being organised as soon as you come in. That really helps you in football when you can get along with your teammates and you can have jokes with them. It helps a lot.
I think the word you would use to describe it is probably like energy. Like Dominic Soboslai is just like embodiment of energy.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
he's got good energy and he's got that energy on the pitch.
Yep, and obviously there's a few gaps in the team which these transfers have filled, which we'll go into now actually. And we'll start off with Florian Wirtz, who got 16 goals and 14 assists for Bayer Leverkusen last season. Intelligent, creative. He's just unbelievable, and he's a replacement, not the certified replacement for Trent, but he's that playmaker we need now that Trent's gone.
He is. He's not in the same mould as Trent, and I didn't think we'd ever find that same mould as Trent. But what he does is he's excellent in tight spaces. his close dribbling, like we've seen in pre-season, we saw against Crystal Palace, unbelievable. His ability to find a pass in those tight spaces, do not just dribble, but find a pass too. It's like next level. And I think we're going to face a lot of teams this season that are going to play a low block, so we're going to have tight spaces in that final third. So to have a player of that brilliance, who I might say might be a hyperbole when I say is the best in these small spaces in the final third in the world right now.
Well, the last person we've seen like that, who was it?
I would say Coutinho, to be honest.
Phil Coutinho. What? Wow. I mean, imagine them two in a team together. That'd be destructive, you know. Um, and it's just proven how good they are based off both prices. You know, Coutinho around 130 million, I think he was. Um, Verts around the same um sort of price. So it's because they're quality players. We know what we're doing. Obviously, he's racked up assists already. Got one against Palace the other day. Um, to Hugo Ekitike, who we'll talk about next, actually, who got 22 goals and I think 12 assists last season for Frankfurt. Is a tall, quick striker. You know, wow, he's going to be unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And I think this is the way the new modern striker is going. I think your strikers aren't just about scoring goals anymore. They're about setting them up as well, helping in the build up. And the fact he got
Yeah.
12 assists last season shows he can do that. He is a willing runner. He'll run to the wings if he needs to. He'll run in behind if he needs to. Do you know what I mean? You saw his rotation. He actually went out to the right wing. Everyone thought he was going to play left wing if he doesn't play striker. He rotated out to the right wing so Salah could come inside. Do you know what I mean? He's a selfless looking player from what we've seen. And that goal against Palace, again, that tight dribbling and then just put it in the corner so quickly, caught everyone off guard. What a goal that was.
Well, obviously, when we brought him in, it was a massive gamble for us. He played for PSG before, wasn't very good at PSG. And last season got that move to Frankfurt. Where, well, I don't know if it was last season, but that's his standout season where he played with Omar Marmoush, who was another one of Liverpool's targets last season. Obviously at Man City now, did really well at Man City, but it was actually in Marmoush's shadows. And as soon as Marmoush went, you could see his quality. Um, and I think that's what's made him a big well, he was a big target for most clubs this summer. And Liverpool are lucky to get him.
I believe that, but I also believe, and this is something that a lot of the new signings said, and what Van Dijk said when he signed his contract, is it was always Liverpool. Like when
Yeah.
Liverpool are coming in for most players, they want to go there.
Well, Jeremy Frimpong, is that who we're talking about?
Yeah, we'll talk about Jeremy from Tom.
Well, last season with Bayer Leverkusen, he got 5 goals and 9 assists, which just shows the attacking strength that he has from right back, which is obviously what Trent had as well. But he's also got a lot of defensive strengths. Very quick player. He plays very wide, which can support Salah. And he's just always an option in defence or in attack. He's just got so much energy and so much pace.
I think again that's another key thing with this team. There is energy in this team. There was a lot of energy. A lot of people wanting to be on the ball, get the goals, get the assists. I think again from the Palace game, just seeing him, he was bombing forward. He would be on the touchline. I mean, look how he scored his goal right on the touchline, and then he's
Yeah.
bombing all the way back. He's like one of the first people to get back. I remember Palace had a counter attack and Mateta was through on goal, and there's Frimpong, the first player back before Van Dijk, before Canate, with that recovery pace to get the ball back. I think he is going to be excellent this season.
Well, obviously we played him last season, didn't we? With Bayer Leverkusen. He, you could see his quality. You know, Verts obviously played against us as well in that match. It was quiet, but you could still see some glimpses of his quality in that game. Frimpong's fullback partner this season, Milos Kerkez. Wow, another great player that Bournemouth had on the hands. We actually went after him a few seasons ago. Another player that brings energy down the left, just like Andy Robertson did, but obviously he's lost his legs a little bit now. So, but it's great to have fresher legs, younger legs coming in. I don't even know how old he is, but wow, he's going to be amazing.
He is. I feel like the issue with Kerkez is there's a lot of question marks against him because of the profile of signing we've made everywhere else with Rakitic, Juventus, and Frimpong. He's not that statement signing like they are. Like he seems like that team below, which I think is also a benefit for him because it gives him a bit more chance to integrate, takes him away from all the backlash if there are games where he doesn't have a great performance. But I'm excited to see him, to be honest. Again, he's like you said, bombs up that pitch, he'll bomb back. He wants to get involved in tackles. He's not afraid of getting physical with attacking players, and he can whip a ball in as well, like Robbo can. Like I'm sure he got like assist of the season or something when he assisted David Brooks for the
Yeah.
volley. Like, and as well,
Well,
he can score goals. Like he scored against
he,
Newcastle last season in the last minute.
he's just a great player, isn't he? All around, he's someone that will help us defensively a lot. Like last season, he played really well against Salah. One of the well, I think Salah still scored, but he kept Salah quiet for most of the game. Next, we're going to be talking about, well, his name's very hard to pronounce, but Marbadashvili. It's not his first season. It's his first proper season as a Liverpool player. Obviously, we signed him last summer, but he went back on loan. And on his loan spell, he got 8 clean sheets. Very promising young keeper, and will push Alisson for that #1 spot this season. Um, and I just think some of his reflexes and you saw one of his saves in pre-season. You can just see his glimpses of quality in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he will play second fiddle to Alisson this season, learn from the best goalkeeper in the world,
Yeah,
and then integrate himself in the next season or two as Alisson moves on with age, probably goes to Saudi Arabia or whatever. But like you were saying, his shot stopping ability is incredible. He is amazing at shot stopping. My worry is he's not been great on his feet, and we've seen that. Like we saw
yeah.
the goal we conceded against AC Milan, he wasn't like it was his fault. Let's be honest. Like his ball control just wasn't great. And I think that is a worry, but he's got that time now. He's the second to Alisson, he's deputy to Alisson. He can learn from Alisson, learn from the coaching staff at Liverpool. And I think he'll grow that as part of his game and it takes that pressure off because he's not coming as #1 straight away. But he's undoubtedly going to be Liverpool #1 in the next coming season.
Oh, definitely. Like you said, Alisson's the best keeper in the world. Like there's no doubt about that. He has been for the last few seasons. And he can learn a lot off Alisson. So I'm just looking forward to seeing more of him though in the cup games. He should play the cup games. He's like our new Kelleher. Speaking of Kelleher, we will be going into our out transfers, and let's see who let's see some of the people that have left the club this season. So we've first of all got Luis Diaz.
I feel like that's a big miss, but I also think it's the right decision.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he has been incredible for Liverpool, and he is a game changer. He was very versatile, especially last season, playing a lot of centre forward, which isn't his natural position, but still put a shift in.
Well, he's going to be a massive miss in his skill on the left. And the chant was what brought all the Liverpool fans together when it came to Luis Diaz. Um, it was just amazing though. Like uh, you can't say a bad word about him. The energy he put in. He had Rodri on strings in his
Yeah.
Ballon d'Or winning season. So
And like you said again, it's that word with Liverpool players, and I think it's a little bit synonymous with us now, is that energy. I feel like
yeah.
players who do well at Liverpool, you have to bring energy. It gets the crowd
Mm.
going, it gets behind you, and when that crowd are behind you, there's nothing like it.
Well, another player who gave his energy but missed a lot as well. Darwin Núñez, it will be a sad miss, definitely. The personality he brought to the club, everybody loved him. Despite how many chances he missed, he also scored a lot of late winners, like Nottingham Forest. What wow, absolute limbs that game. And the, it's sad to see him go. And that's obviously another striker at the club, which can give us more money to get a new striker in.
Yeah, I feel like with Darwin, he was just a character. He was never the best player on the pitch. We did have high expectations at the start when he came in, but I think that was the price tag. But we got used to him not being the most prolific striker, and we just appreciated how hard he worked and how much he loved the Liverpool fans. And I think when you actually look back on his career, if you just take those highlights, it looks like a good Liverpool career, to be honest. I mean, it's not
Mm.
one of the
Yeah.
best, but it's a good Liverpool career, and I think I wish him all the best in Saudi Arabia. I hope he does well, but I would like to see him come back to Europe at some point. I think.
Well, definitely, we obviously had high hopes when he played for Benfica. Wow, what a see! He scored against Liverpool. It's probably why Klopp wanted to sign him. Like so. Anyway, probably the saddest one of the window, but also the most frustrating one. With the local lad Trent Alexander-Arnold. Put us through this. What has he done here to the club?
I feel like he's. I think now I feel differently than I did when the decision was first announced. At the time when it first got announced, I felt disappointed. I felt a bit heartbroken. That's your club. You're the Liverpool lad in the team. That has been your club forever, and that club has given everything, and you've given back. Like, let's not doubt that for a second. Trent has won every trophy that was available to win with Liverpool,
Yeah.
but if you're the fans, when they come to that stand, they look at you because they want to be you. They see you in themselves. Like, that's who they wanted to be. And I can tell you now, most of those fans wouldn't have made that decision.
No, it's frustrating.
It is frustrating, but now I would say that I'm at peace with the decision. I've accepted it now. We've moved on. I'm really excited by Frimpong. I'm really excited by Conor Bradley as well, who's already in the team.
That's someone we've not actually spoke about yet. Conor Bradley showed his class last season when we played Real Madrid, and that slide tackle on Mbappe that put his name out there. Obviously, a few seasons ago, he was on loan at Bolton in League One, and then like the next few seasons, he took that step up straight away, and it's just amazing how he can do that. It's it's something about Liverpool right backs coming through in it. They
Yeah.
always have some sort of quality, and he's a new one. Hopefully, he can be better than Trent.
And again, that with Conor Bradley, it's that word energy. It's
Yeah,
just bombing down. He's willing to get involved physically at the back. He's willing to run all the way to the touchline down at the bottom. Do you know what I mean? He will go, and he will go for as long as he can go. Yeah, I think
yeah.
like we're fine in that position, and like I say, I'm at peace with Trent going there.
Well, yeah. We'll go for the last one then. Well, we don't know if it's going to be the last one of the window, but Kevin Kelleher. Oh, that's another really sad one. Our cup keeper. He, he he played that Carabao Cup game. He played the FA Cup game when we beat Chelsea. Um, he scored a penalty, saved penalties. Well, he's won Liverpool trophies. He's an amazing keeper, and I wish him all the best at Brentford. He deserved that first team football, and now he's getting it.
I think that's bang on. To be honest, I think he's gone now. He's at the age where he needs first team football. He's proved he's at the level to win trophies. And like even in times last season when Allison was injured, he came in as Liverpool's number one. And
Yep.
it's hard to say we missed Allison with Kelleher in goal. And I think that's such a high compliment. There wasn't much of a drop off there in terms of quality in the goal, and he's done it for so long at Liverpool. Like, I don't have that same animosity like I did with Trent, because I feel like, fair enough, go get that first team football now. Go be the main goalkeeper somewhere and go show what you're about. 38 games a season.
Well, yeah, he wanted that first team spot for a while, and he obviously wanted to take over from Allison. But as soon as we sign another keeper, you're like, right, I'm never gonna get this. Is like it's a keeper in Marmadashvili as well. Like he's a quality keeper. I'm not sure who's better out of the two. You'll have to let us know in the comments who you think's better. But it's a really good battle. I love both of them as well as these transfers in and out. We've also got some rumours, haven't we? Starting number one, Alexander Isak, the Newcastle star man who is currently refusing to play from last season. He got 27 goals and 6 assists. He'd been the talk of the summer. Well, talk us through this one, Charlie.
I feel like Alexander Isak is such a good player, but the way this transfer is panning out is so messy, and it looks bad on everyone. Like, Newcastle look bad in the outcome if he ends up going to Liverpool. Isak looks bad for the way he's sort of spat his dummy out. And what are Liverpool doing signing a player who treats a club like that? Because let's say
Yeah,
in 2 years' time he wants to move on to Real Madrid or Barcelona. Is he going to treat us the exact same way? And that is my
yeah.
worry. Aside from that, on the pitch, what a signing that would be. I think that would make us undoubted Premier League champions. Like, he would be incredible. He can play off the left, plays through the middle. Him and Ekatike have got that similar thing about them where they can drift in either places. They're great on the ball, they're great finishers. And I think Alexander Isak guarantees you the title with the goals he'll score. And you will go far in competitions with the goal he scores. Because he is a big game player, let's not forget that either. Like, he scored a lot of goals against us. He scored in the Carabao Cup final. Like, that is a statement to the Premier League that we can go and get the best players from other clubs as well.
Well, that strike he had against Liverpool at St James Park, that just sums everything up. It was a ridiculous strike. He was going one on one with Van Dijk and just decided to hit one. Bloody hell! It nearly blew Alisson's face off. So just fair play to Isak. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Obviously, I still don't feel the way he's treated Newcastle is correct, but I just still don't think Newcastle have treated him in the right way. Obviously, refusing to sell him. The player wants to leave. You need to give the player what they want. Um, so I think they should just let him come to Liverpool. To be honest with you,
I'm going to ask you that. Do you think we should still sign him?
it's a tough one because you don't want a player with that reputation there, but I think you just can't deny his quality. I still think I want another striker over anything with obviously Ekitike being our only out and out striker, and he's not. Sometimes he can play on the wing, so he's not that finisher. He's not that poacher that we need in the team. And I think Isak, his main position, like where he only wants to play, is at striker. I think that's what we need. He's clinical, really clinical. Ekitike, I don't know. And obviously with Darwin Núñez being sold, um, the unfortunate events that happened with Jota. So we are on the hunt for another striker. As well as Isak though, we're also linked with another great player. Um, Bradley Barcola got 21 goals and 20 assists for PSG last season. That's some numbers, isn't it?
It's just incredible. And again, he's so young and he fits that profile of players we normally sign between the ages of like 22 and 24, who have a lot of first team minutes, who have experience in good club competitions like the Champions League. I mean, he got all the way to the final with PSG. Do you know what I mean? It can't get any better in terms of that. His numbers unbelievable. And I know people will talk about PSG and them being in League On. And it's not a strong league, but he did it in the Champions League too, and people sort of forget that.
Exactly. It was a PSG super team last season.
Once Kvaratskhelia came in, he did get a bit overshadowed, and Kvaratskhelia stopped taking over that position. But when he was needed to perform, he performed.
Well, I just want to take it back on how you said about people talking about it being in League One. You just forget that Mbappe comes from there, and what player he's got being for Real Madrid. People don't think he was that good, but if you look at the numbers he scored, wow, it's ridiculous. He's a great player. Desiree Doué in the Champions League final, he plays in League One. Desiree Doué absolutely destroyed them. Um, so you can't underestimate League One. I mean, they destroyed all the Premier League teams. I think they beat every single Premier League team in the competition. PSG. And the Premier League's supposed to be the best league in the world. In my opinion, it is. But yeah, I'm just saying it takes some skill to knock out every single Premier League club. Another one that we actually played on Sunday, Mark Guehi. Obviously, his contract is running out. Um, even the manager don't know what Guehi's decision is yet. But I would love Guehi at Liverpool, with Kanate being injured, getting injured sometimes, Gomez getting injured. VVD, it's always there though. But we just need some extra depth in them centre back positions, and I think Guehi is just unbelievable. Like an England international, young upcoming star. I think he'd be great for us.
Yeah, so do I. And a lot of people forget he was England's best player at the 2024 Euros. He
Yep.
was incredible at that. And he's put on performances all last season for Palace. Top notch performances. Helped them get to the FA Cup final. Helped them win the FA Cup final. You know, he was class against us the other day. Like, he is a top player. And I think he needs out of Crystal Palace. And I think he's ready for that step to Liverpool. I think he could be a long-term replacement for Van Dijk. He's got that leadership qualities about him. His reading of the game is so intelligent. And despite him not being that tall for a centre half, I think he's just 6 foot. He's great in the air. Like, he's got all
Mm.
the qualities you need from modern day centre back. He can pass the ball. He can drive with the ball. He can, he can organise the defence. He's great. And if we give him a couple of years to learn from Van Dijk, he's going to pick up a hell of a lot more. And it's just
Yep.
the player he could become terrifying, to be honest.
I think he's led that Crystal Palace team to a lot of great things. 2 trophies in 3 months. I think it is that I've seen. That's and against Man City and Liverpool, two best teams in recent years. In the Premier League. So it's some statement by Oliver Glasner, but great he's led them to that. With his captaincy, and obviously you can't um stay hard away from Eze's quality, who could be on the way to Tottenham actually. But then you've also got Mateta. Wow, he's unbelievable. So, but Guehi, I think, has been the standout performer for Palace. And they won't be where they are without Guehi. The rumours out. So we've got 3 players here that have been linked away from Liverpool this season. Harvey Elliott, we've got Kostas Tsimikas and Lewis Kumas. So I want to start on Harvey Elliott. You know, a great performer for Liverpool. He works so hard. Again, that word energy just comes to mind. He's a great player. When we signed him from Fulham, um, you could tell how good of a player he was. When he was 16, he got loaned out to Blackburn and scoring goals, getting assists in the Championship, good numbers as well. You could tell he was a proper star then.
I love Harvey. Let me just say that from the start. I love Harvey. He
Yeah.
is incredible. I think his problem is Liverpool's midfield is world class. I don't think he's at that world class level yet.
Yeah.
I think he has a long way to go, and I don't think he's going to get it unless he's getting solid minutes. Like from that is for most of the season. I think he's going to struggle. I think
I think he can definitely get a Premier League club. Um, um, West Ham maybe.
RB Leipzig apparently.
Well, replacement for Jerry Simmons, who could be on his way to Chelsea. Then we can also talk about Lewis Kumas, who got 6 goals and 3 assists for Stoke City last season. It's good for a 19-year-old. Again, one of them players that Liverpool learn out, and then they come back, and you're not sure what's going to happen with them. But I do think he needs another loan spell out somewhere, maybe in the Championship, preferably Hull City. But
I think for Lewis Kumas, I don't think he's Premier League ready yet. I think he needs another Championship run.
yeah,
And I think it might just be time to sell as well because I don't know if he can ever reach that potential. I've not seen enough of him because I don't watch enough Championship to have
yeah.
seen enough of him to give a proper opinion. But from what I have seen, I just think the Championship might be his level. And I think it might be time to maybe permanently leave.
When you talk about a Championship club, is Welsh, and he'll come calling from Wrexham.
And he'll be registered to them by the end of the season.
I mean, they've got money for days, don't they? The last guy, Kostas Tsimikas. Wow, he's he's a good footballer, but we don't we we don't credit him enough for his football ability. What we credit him for is his personality off the pitch. He brings everyone together. He's quite a funny guy off the pitch, isn't he? Um, and he's just someone great to have around the dressing room.
Yeah, I think he is a character, and you can see that from any behind the scenes. All the players love him. All the players want to be around him. When you've seen interviews, all of them say the funniest player is Costas. Like he does bring a lot of good energy, and when he's on the pitch, he's pretty good. I have to say, like he rarely puts a foot wrong. He's never a 10 out of 10, I would say, but he never really puts a foot wrong either. It's like a solid 10 out of 10 every time. He's given us big moments. He is a big personality, and I think it's just been a good servant. I think it could be time for him to go. I feel like I'm not going to be heartbroken if I see him leave.
It was the one to score that winning penalty in the shootout, one against Chelsea. We'll always remember him for that again. It's just like building a super team. I think what we're trying to do is match PSG. Last season they just stormed it, didn't they? But also I think we need to match Chelsea this season. They've also they buy about 60 players every transfer window, but they bought really well this season. I really rate Liam Delap, not just because he played for Hull, but I really do rate Liam Delap. I think he was amazing for Ipswich last year. He's just the way he carries the ball. Then you've got João Pedro from. They're just buying really well. So we need to buy to compete with that. And it's not like we're buying without like selling. We've sold about 150 million worth of players this season, with more still to come. And I don't know how much we've spent, but I'm sure we still have a lot more money to spend because we barely ever spend.
We didn't spend it all last season. We signed Kiers of 16 million, and then we signed
Yeah,
Ramsdale Philly. So
yeah.
like we didn't really spend last season. So we've got a huge amount of money this season, and then we've made player sales, and then we went far in the Champions League. We won the Premier League. We've had that huge tour in Asia. Like we've made money, we have money sat just to spend, and we spent it, I think, smartly still.
That's where we forgot something. We forgot about one of the players that we've sold, Gerald Quansah, who obviously was supposed to be the successor of Van Dijk. It could be we could buy him back in the future, depending on what he does at Bayer Leverkusen. But I just think last season under Arne Slot, he just made too many mistakes. I didn't like him as much as I did when he was playing with Jurgen. Um, I just think he made too many mistakes. Even that Ipswich game, that first game of the season, he started next to Van Dijk, and he was just getting bullied by Delap, and Kanate came on and sorted that out. I just think he needed a bit more experience on loan. Throwing him straight into the first team was a big risk. But obviously playing next to Van Dijk, you're always going to look good, aren't you? But I just think last season he got found out a bit too much, and that's the reason he's gone to Leverkusen, where I hope he does really well. We've obviously got the buyback clause, and I predict we're gonna activate that in a few years.
Hopefully, but I do also think this is a bit of a steal in terms of the money we've got for him. You
Yeah,
know, he's had maybe a season and a half in the Premier League, and before that, he was on loan in what, League One, League Two,
yeah,
and then in a year and a half after being on loan at League One, League Two side, he's gone for 35 million.
mm,
Like, that is massive. Like if we tried to sell him a year and a half ago, we wouldn't have got anywhere near that. But
yeah, exactly.
being part of the Liverpool squad, having moments in the Liverpool squad, it inflated that value so much. And I think we've done well to get that much for him. To be honest, it feels like a steal.
Can't forget what he did against Man United, but we don't need to mention that. What we're going to go on to now is the our prediction for the season, and how we think Arne Slot's Liverpool is going to set up this season. And so what we think what we should be expecting is a high pressing and positional play, and there'll be many rotations in the team this season, with players moving around everywhere. Mainly between the attacking midfielders and the wide players. Just a lot of movement. I think that's what we want to play with this season. Get that ball, pass around, look for the gaps, and work from that.
I think this is where a lot of teams are going. Like you look at the Chelsea's, look at the Man, well, not really Man City, but like teams have this tactical flexibility because they have so many players that can play so many systems. And you have players that do suit different systems better. I think that is just the way it's going, and I think we're going to see ourselves with that.
Yeah,
And especially when it comes to if there's injuries, if there's rotation needed, I think we are going to see a lot of players in a lot of different positions. You could see Salah up front in certain parts of the season. You could see Frimpong on the right wing instead of right back at some points this season. You could see Gakpo up top, Ekatike on the left. You could see Vets as a false nine up top. There is so many options with the team. That's what's so exciting. And I am excited. I think we can go deep in a lot of competitions this year.
definitely. And that's where we go into our actual prediction for the season. So we're both agreed on a top two finish in the Premier League. We think it's very realistic. I think it's a case of teams competing with us. Not us competing with them. I think Chelsea have a really strong squad this season, like I said earlier, to compete with us. Man City looking to strengthen the squad with Rodrigo, looking at Donnarumma now. So they're trying to match the squads. Arsenal obviously got a really good squad. Man United's even starting to get a very good squad. So it's going to be very competitive, but I do think Liverpool's squad's going to be miles ahead of the others this season. Without no bias, I think that's just the truth. But we also think they're going to go very deep in the Champions League this season, probably about around semi-finals and the final. Hopefully the final. Hopefully we win it. Um, but obviously for these predictions to come true, we just need these signings to actually work. And based off what I saw against Crystal Palace, I think Verts and Ekatike definitely will work this season. Whether the defence works, it's another story. But we'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah, I think that is the big worry this season. I think attacking wise, we look brilliant. We look terrifying. We may have the best attack in the world, especially for the attack. Like it'd be hard to argue that. But I think there's frailties in the defence. There's gaps in that defence. There's areas that need improved. Our fullbacks, like we said earlier, want to bomb on both of them at the same time, leaving so much room at the back. But I also think from that Crystal Palace game, if that man Ryan Gravenberch was in the team, I feel like it's a whole different game. I feel like him coming back into that team is going to be so important, and it's going to change so many things. And if we can keep him fit enough throughout the season, manage his minutes well, have him there for the most important games, I think he could be the real game changer again this season.
So that's what we think is going to happen this season, and that's our full analysis of the transfer window so far. There's obviously still around 18 days to go. Probably a bit longer. I don't even know what day it is. But yeah, that's our analysis. So you'll have to let us know what you lot think in the comments. Should we have gone for more, or have we done enough so far in this transfer window? So yeah, so next video will be recreating Ancelotti's Liverpool team in Football Manager, won't we? So I'm looking forward to that, and you definitely won't want to miss it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
See you later.
see you later.